want to live a life on fire and on mission. You want to be filled with such conviction and drive that you stop caring about what anyone thinks. You want to face each day alive, authentic, and fully present in every moment. With your wife, with your kids, on the street, at work. You want to bring yourself to the table and to stop bringing the watered-down, nice, what everyone wants version of you. You want that self to be a man who is burning in passion for Jesus, unafraid to bring his kingdom to anyone in your path, no matter what it costs you. You want to love the one in front of you without fear, without needing love back, and without reserve. You want to husband well. You want to father well. You want to shepherd your life well. You want to be a safe pillar for anybody around you. You want to experience God for real, to not just believe, but to know that he's got you, and that he'll show up on your behalf, that he'll show up through you. You want to get to the end of your race and say, yep, I gave it everything. Jesus, you know I'm all in. And you want to know just how to get there. Welcome to Man Warrior King. I'm your host, Matt Hallock. Congratulations. You're among the violent taking the kingdom by force. You're among the chosen answering the call to rise above yourself. You're in the forge being stripped down and strengthened, and you will rise stronger, solid, unshakable. You are a man. You're a warrior. You are a king. Welcome to another episode of the Man Warrior King podcast. Matt Hallock here. I hope you are having a fantastic day. And if not, I hope that you are growing and becoming more awesome, stronger, more Man Warrior King because of it. I want to pray for you today. Jesus, I pray that you would bless these men and women who are listening to the podcast right now. I pray for your fire to fall on us, God. I pray that you would ignite us. You'd ignite us with your spirit. You'd ignite us in power. You would ignite us to go forward and live the life of the kingdom and to stop being run by struggle and survival. God, I pray that you would instill in us a new trust, a new faith, for you to sustain us in this world while we live in heaven and from heaven. Because sometimes, God, we get stuck living in earth and from earth and asking for the faith to believe in the kingdom, asking for the faith for you to take us up into the kingdom. And I want that to reverse, Jesus. We love you, God. I love you so much. Gentlemen, today I want to talk about this mindset, this concept that's out in the world, especially in the world of men. And I want to shed some kingdom light on it. I don't think that it's all bad, but I also don't think that it is all good. And it's this concept that as a man, whatever situation, whatever circumstance you find yourself in right now, it is because you have led yourself there. It's because you are getting exactly the things that you have sowed into that you deserve. And this teaching, I understand, has been really, really powerful to help men get their lives in order, to get up, get moving, stop wallowing in victim self-pity, and start taking some action and some ownership over themselves. And that all is very good. I see that. I acknowledge that. But I think that it's an incomplete picture, and I think that it can do damage to those of us that it may not apply to. And it's not necessarily, it's not completely biblical either. And I realized this lately when I was reading one of my favorite king stories in the book of 2 Chronicles. the story is a pretty famous one where King Jehoshaphat is basically, he's got a bunch of enemies coming against him. It says in 2 Chronicles chapter 20, the Moabites and the Ammonites and some of the Meunites came against Jehoshaphat for battle. And some people came and told Jehoshaphat, saying that a great multitude is coming against you from Edom, from beyond the sea. And behold, they are in Hazazon Tamar. So there's this huge multitude of a couple different nations coming against Jehoshaphat. And it says that Jehoshaphat was afraid. And he set his face to seek the Lord, and he proclaimed a fast throughout all Judah. And Judah assembled to seek help from the Lord. From all the cities of Judah, they came to seek the Lord. And as the story goes on, they pray, they seek the Lord. There's some really, really powerful verses here. And a prophet, rises up and tells them that, you know what? It's going to be okay. And God is going to deliver you. Go out against these people because God will be with you. And this is the story where Jehoshaphat then has the group of worshipers go out in front of the army. And as they start worshiping, then God himself shows up and fights on their behalf, and it's a miraculous victory for the people of Israel. So this is that story. And what struck me about it was the backstory to it. Because just before these enemies came and marched against Jehoshaphat and Jerusalem, in chapter 19, it talks all about the reforms of Jehoshaphat. And it says that in verse 4 of chapter 19, he went out among the people and brought them back to the Lord, the God of their fathers. He appointed judges in the land in all the fortified cities. And he said to them, consider what you do, for you judge not for man, but for the Lord. He is with you in giving judgment. Now then, let the fear of the Lord be upon you. Be careful what you do, for there is no injustice with the Lord our God, or partiality, or taking bribes. And he appointed Levites and priests and heads of family to give judgment for the Lord and to decide disputed cases. He said, thus you shall do in the fear of the Lord in faithfulness and with your whole heart. Whenever a case comes to you from your brothers who live in their cities concerning bloodshed, all these things, then you shall warn them that they may not incur guilt before the Lord, and wrath may not come upon you and your brothers. So, and then he finally says, deal courageously, and may the Lord be with the upright. See, his goal here was to establish an order of rule in his land, in the land of Judah, so that the people could be brought back to the Lord in their hearts, with their whole hearts. He was good. He was one of the good kings. He was on the right track. And then, in the next chapter, chapter 20, a big multitude of a few different nations start marching against him to take him down. And I realized, well, wait a second. Jehoshaphat did not find himself in this predicament because of his poor beliefs, his poor choices. He did not necessarily sow in such a way that was reaping these enemies coming against him. This story right here shows that concept that we are completely 100% in charge of the situation that is in front of us, or we are the ones who have brought it about. This story shows that that's just simply not true. And you have verses in the New Testament, like where Jesus says that the Father causes the sun to shine on the righteous and the unrighteous. And he also gives rain, which in in that case is a good thing. We often think he causes good to happen in the sun on good and bad people, and he causes bad to happen from the rain on good and bad people. But both of those things, the sun shining and the rain, are good things. The rain is always a good, refreshing thing in the Bible. So he's saying God brings about good on the righteous and the unrighteous, on the people who have sown into it and those who haven't. And the Psalms are full. The Psalms are full of people complaining to the Lord like, hey, why is it that the wicked are prospering and the righteous are not? Why am I talking about this? It's because I want to point out a couple of things. The first is that if you find yourself in some pretty difficult life situations, if you find yourself barely getting by in finances and hardly able to take care of your family, even though you have been investing, pouring yourself out for the sake of your family, and it just doesn't seem like it's cutting it. It just doesn't seem like it's good enough. If that has led you to feel and to think, well, I'm just not good enough. I am just not cutting it. I wasn't meant for this. I'm not man enough for this. That is wrong. And it could be any number of situations. It could be your kids acting up, rebelling, not following Jesus. You might have poured in to them. Not everything that goes wrong in life is because you, man, have made it so. It is not always your fault. You can be after the Lord with your whole heart, and you can still have crap rise up against you. Jesus promised it. He said, in this world you will have trouble. That's a promise. That is a guarantee. So we need to stop automatically thinking that I should have just done this better. If I had done better, if I hadn't been an idiot on this or that thing, then we'd be better off. And this is my fault. We have to stop that. The flip side is that you do reap what you sow. The flip side is that oftentimes where you are at in life is because of what you have poured into it. You are getting the return of what you have invested. I mean, just like this story, Jehoshaphat invests good. He moves the people to return to the Lord. He wants them to follow him. He wants to honor God with his kingdom, with his reign. And he gets threatened and enemies come against him. I mean, he could have thought, how could I not have seen this? How could I have been so distracted by going through the land and establishing judges that I didn't even see these enemies coming against us? How could I not have been better at diplomacy and made better relationships with these nations before? How have I just blown it? How am I not cut out for this? He could have thought all those things, but that has nothing to do with this story. That has nothing to do with God coming in and rescuing. That has nothing to do with why these people were coming. It might just be that God's people attract attention from the enemy. It might just be that there's a war. Anyway, just like we have this story where Jehoshaphat poured in good and reaped struggle, there are plenty of stories where kings pour in evil and reap evil and judgment and destruction. And they did reap what they sowed. And maybe you are experiencing circumstances in your life because of what you've been putting in. That can, and I'm sure that is true. And I don't want to dismiss that, because while not everything is your fault, everything is your responsibility. That's a very important distinction. While everything is not necessarily your fault, everything is your responsibility. It is now within your domain. It is now within your kingdom. And so you must take action. And you cannot look to anybody else to do it for you. I would suggest that your first and primary action be to go before Jesus like Jehoshaphat did. He laid himself bare before him. It says he was afraid. He had been sowing good, and it didn't mean that he was impenetrable. He was actually afraid, and God didn't require perfection from him. God didn't require, hey, why are you afraid? Stop being fearful and let's just talk about it like a man. If you're living in fear, then I'm not going to act. I'm not going to rescue you because you're afraid and you don't have faith. God didn't say anything like that. He didn't act like that, because Jehoshaphat coming to the Lord was faith enough. And there might have been a battle and a struggle going on inside of him between fear and faith, but he was choosing faith even while feeling fear. And sometimes that's the best you can do while you're in the process of being made new, while you're in the process of being strengthened to the point where fear has no place anymore. And Jehoshaphat even said, how about this, guys? I should have known. I should have known what to do. I should know right now what to do, and it's my fault. I've been lazy. I've been neglecting my duties as a man because now I don't know what to do in this situation. But Jehoshaphat says this to God. He says, we are powerless against this great horde that's coming against us. We don't know what to do, but our eyes are on you. Can you at least say that much? You may not know what to do, but you can sure as heck set your eyes on God. And you can admit humbly, I am powerless to change this because I've been struggling against it for years. And now, crisis mode is here. I don't know how we're going to make it. I don't know how I'm going to make it. I'm powerless against it, but God, my eyes are on you. And they haven't been, but they are now. I'm yours. And if you deliver me, I'm yours. And even if you don't, I'm yours. So how is it possible for us to know? How do we know whether the things that we are in are our fault or not? How do we know that if there's something going wrong, then the root problem is in me, so therefore I should get to work addressing it? Or if the root problem is simply because in the world we'll have difficulty and I will endure, I will overcome these things that come against me. I don't know if you need to know, actually. I wonder if the fact that it's not easily cut and dried, if it's not pure black and white, if sometimes the things that come against you are because of what you have sown, or if they're just because of the fact that you are following the Lord with all your heart and crap has happened and it wants to steer you off course. Maybe the fact that you don't know for sure which one it is an invitation into a deeper connection and a deeper relationship with Jesus. Maybe he doesn't want the answer to be super easy so that you have to engage with him, so that you have to speak with him, so that you have to go before him like Jehoshaphat did and lay yourself out and wait to hear from him. Everything is an invitation into relating with him. He doesn't want you to go out without knowing him, without being with him, without speaking and hearing from him. And if you don't have all the answers, then you're kind of forced to go ask for them. Maybe there's a beauty in this lack of a solid answer, because now you can really know Jesus. Because now you can get to know him, and you don't have to find the root cause of your problems. You don't have to troubleshoot them if you have the answer, which is Jesus, his Holy Spirit, living inside of you, ready to release heaven on all of your circumstances, all of your brokennesses, root causes, symptoms, outside forces, whatever. The answer is the same, and it's Jesus. The answer is the same. It's the kingdom of heaven being made manifest inside of you. So go to him, run to him, be with him. Everything that I'm saying to you in this podcast, in this blog, is pointless if it's not leading you into a higher plane of relationship with Jesus. I don't want to give you answers that exist independently of him. They should always move you back into connection, back into fire in the presence of God. Bless you, gentlemen. This is Matt Hallock signing off and thanking you again for being a part of the Man Warrior King community. If you want more, head over to manwarriorking.com. And please remember to take just a couple seconds to subscribe on iTunes and to leave a 5-star rating and a review so that more and more men can join us as we become awesome. You are a kingdom man. Go out, take more ground, push back darkness. Remember, you bring value into your home, your work, and your circle. You are not a taker, you are a giver. Abundance is your atmosphere.